What is up, everybody? It's your boy Nerdicane coming at you with another comic book review. This one came out before. This one is Runaways. I have a little bit of history reviewing Runaways, which is like older videos. I wanted to come back into this and check to see if it had improved, if it had changed where Rainbow Rowell, who is a complete fraud in the comic book industry, where she is taking it. What's her vision? I got some... These comics are coming this week too, as well as whatever comes out on Wednesday. I'm trying to do a little bit of backlog, knock a lot of that out, and I'm also trying to... I'm going to start doing some... I've been playing some Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty. I'm also Nerdicane on Xbox Live as well. If anybody watching my video plays, I will definitely play with you. I got no problem with that. It's always better to have a group in that game. But I'm going to do some videos on like kind of tips for, because I'm getting back into shooting games. I think the last one that I played with any regularity was Black Ops 2. So that shows how long ago that was. But I'm really enjoying the game. I do recommend that game. I do not, however, recommend Runaways by Rainbow Rowell. If you want to read what Runaways should be, go read the original one by Vaughn. That was a really interesting, innovative series back in the day. There is something that I say, when I used to run restaurants and other jobs, when I was doing logistics jobs, I had young people working for me. And there was something I would say to them, there's like, they were either finishing up high school or they were in their early 20s or, just reaching 20. And a lot of them didn't know what they were going to do. Because I think it's a little too heavy to ask a 17 or 18-year-old, like, okay, you need to decide right now what you're going to focus on in your career. And you also need to take out a lot of loans to pay for this education that you're not really sure. You don't have any actual life experience, but you need to decide right now, and you need to take out a lot of loans in order to get that job. I think that's really unfair to do to a 17 or 18-year-old. Yes, some of them do, but other ones, they have no real life experience. But it's weird, we've kind of built into our society that we expect you right after high school to go to college, where that's not for everybody, but yet we kind of funnel people into that. So we wind up with situations with, young people with tens of thousands of dollars of debt in doing a job that they didn't think that, the job that wasn't what they thought it was going to be, and it's not what they actually want to do, but they still have the debt and these things. And then what you wind up with is people voting for Bernie Sanders because he says, I want college to be free for everyone. Yeah, high school is free for everyone, and nobody gives a shit about a high school diploma. So what do you think is going to happen to college when going to college doesn't cost anything? Yeah. But anyway, what I would tell them, I got on a rant there. What I would tell these young people is in your 20s, your 20s, and what I consider your 20s is like age 20 to about 28. Beyond that, you're starting to get into your 30s. In your 20s, you got to figure out who you are. You got to figure out what you're going to be. You got to decide to become something before time decides that you've become nothing. You don't want to be 28 years old working at, bagging groceries or doing some hourly job and not really knowing what the path is. In that time, 20 to 28, you should know what path you want to be on. You figure out where you want to go. That's where, when back then when I was that age, I went to college, and then I went to college really late, and then I met my best friend, I won't say his name, but I met him, and we opened a restaurant, and that's kind of who I am. Is I'm a very independent person now as far as what I do. Everything I do, I want to become my own boss now. That's sort of how I am. But in your 20s, that's what you do. You figure out what you want to do, what you want to become. And that's what I think. I think it's kind of fitting that this is Runaways number 26. This book doesn't know what it wants to become. It doesn't know what it wants to do. And that's squarely on the shoulders of Rainbow Rowell. You know what? I didn't even see who the editor was. Oh yeah, there you go. There's your editors. That's falls squarely on their shoulders. Now the art in this is, I mean, look at it. It's free comic book. This is the type of thing that this is the level of art that you pay for on a free comic book day giveaway. This is a lot of flat angles. It's a lot of very basic shots, very basic angles. There's really no action in this. Wow, look at that approved body type. This is Gert. That's Gert. Gert is the self-insert of Rainbow Rowell. That's the character who, speaks with her voice. Yeah, I mean, wow, look at that. Look at that shit. These are supposed to be like superheroic, athletic women in their early 20s, and just look at that shapeless jumpsuit. This is the future of the Democrat Party. This is the future the Democrat Party sees, or the extreme leftists see for people in America. Just everybody wearing shapeless jumpsuits with no real curvature, gender identifying curves to them. But you get this thing, and so what this is the gang becoming sidekicks in their own book to this guy. This guy is kind of like an aging superhero who I've never heard of. I think he's just made. I didn't go look up a wiki because it's Rainbow Rowell writing the Runaways, and it doesn't really matter. So I never really looked that up. But somewhere along the time, between the time I did the last Runaways issue that I reviewed, and now apparently they picked up an ogre, or is he a frost giant? I don't know what he is, but he doesn't want to be. Look at this. This is the face that he was hoping to be like in a Thor book, and he just wound up in the Runaways as sort of the extra, the Atticid. This is the Atticid, the character they bring in to kind of like spark more interest, and then he knows it. But I mean, once again, every page looks the same. It's them talking. It's them hating each other. Every panel that this character Gert is in, either her mouth is open, or she's complaining, or she's standing there with her arms crossed, or a mixture of those three elements. The book, when I first read this book, I think it was just trying to be a slice of life, and then I guess they sort of like tried to add elements of romance between Gert and one of these other characters. I think maybe the 6 foot tall vibrator here. He's an android, so I guess that's what he is to Gert. They've tried to add elements of her being in a relationship, non-hetero, of course. I mean, it's Marvel in 2019. What do you expect? Oh gosh, look at that face. That's the face of a hero in his own comic. Wow. I'm just gonna sit here on this pillow and pout. I can't believe Fish broke up. I mean, it's just so much. And look at it. This page looks just like the page before. Arms crossed, sullen, just angry looking. Look at that. That sells books right there. This character too, she's supposed to be like 11 or 12, but they've kind of like unnaturally aged her somehow. She's like one of the gang now. So it has a little bit to do with their parents and the organization that their parents were part of. Like, yeah, they killed their parents, but the organization was so entrenched that it just was able to keep going, doing things. That wasn't it. Which would be a cool thing for them to do. Once again, it would be something that would make these characters have a purpose. They would have figured out what they were going to do, what they were going to become before they became nothing. If it was, okay, we're the Runaways, we're going to quietly, covertly take apart this organization that our parents were part of, and that's going to be our overarching storyline. But, like I said, because they haven't decided what this book wants to be, the book is slowly becoming nothing. It doesn't know what it wants to be. It's just this meandering thing, which leads to this issue where they basically... Where is he? Where's the robot guy? I can't tell any of these people apart. The android guy is sort of smitten with the old aging superhero because he used to have like a kids sidekick group, and the aging superhero says, okay, I'm going to go out tonight and do a mission and try to like bring down this organization, skipping for the copyright gods. So he says, okay, I'll be your sidekick. I'll even creepily dress up in this old costume of one of your former sidekicks, basically removing my identity as a character, and becoming your sidekick, becoming the sidekick of a character who I've never heard of in the Marvel universe. That's basically what they've done. And then the whole group, the whole gang gets in on it, and they all decide, okay, we're all going to go with you and be basically in our own book, The Runaways, we're going to become sidekick of this cereal box comic book giveaway, Captain Justice, Kid Justice, or something like that, that nobody's ever heard of. And the book ends on this lovely piece where I guess this ogre elf thing absorbs the life force of things, and that's how he feeds. So the book ends with him absorbing the life force of a puppy, and then Old Lace eating the puppy, which is, it's just completely endearing. Oh my God. That's gonna, that's something you don't put, if this book is for young girls, teenage girls, that's not something you put in it. You don't put a dinosaur eating a puppy or eating a mouse, in that. This book doesn't know who the audience is. It doesn't know what it wants to be. That's why it's kind of meandered from slice of life to pseudo-romance to whatever, this becoming sidekicks to an ancillary character in their own book. The book doesn't know what it wants to be. So once again, this book is still just dragging itself on. I don't know why they still make this book. I guarantee sales are like sub 10,000. Oddly enough, I was in Target the other day, and you know how they have their big display? They have these huge screens on the wall, which they use for advertising. I saw this advertisement. I just saw these two big words, Rainbow Rowell, on the thing. And I was like, why is her name up there? And it was promoting some a YA book. Rainbow Rowell is part of the YA group that Sana Amanat brought in, who thought that would attract a new audience to Marvel Comics, which it hasn't, and it doesn't, and it won't. But I forgot about that. She's a very successful YA author. She's very good in her wheelhouse, which is sort of teen coming of age stories, and I think this new book is about, just the synopsis I saw from the advertisement is like, what do these two male characters who save the world, what do they do after they save the world? And I guarantee they're gay. I mean, it's Rainbow Rowell writing. They're gonna make them. It's a YA novel by Rainbow Rowell. Yeah, they're probably gonna be gay. Nothing wrong with that, but she just seems to do that a lot. But I kind of realized, I was like, yeah, she's actually popular in doing that, just like the Soska sisters. They're really good at what they do, and I really like their personalities and the things that they do in the horror genre. But just like the Soska sisters, when you put them writing a book, a comic book, a Marvel comic book, it falls apart, because that's not what they are supposed to be doing. That's not what they do. They've decided, each of them, Rainbow Rowell and the Soska sisters, decided years ago what they're going to be. They're going to be horror directors. They're going to be YA authors. And then you take them both, and there's two examples, you take them both and you stick them into Marvel Comics, and you try to make them write an action Marvel comic or whatever this is trying to be, and it just falls apart. Like the Soska sisters Black Widow series is just them picking up a paycheck. Like I said, I respect their work in horror, but their work in comic books is really boring. And this work in comic book just doesn't know what it wants to be. So, I think it's obvious to say I don't recommend this. The only thing I can recommend is Marvel just end this series, please, and just move on. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. You guys go out, have a good day, and bye.